When it comes to the super Christians of the world, they either go in one of two categories. Usually, this is just like a diversion that happens. They are chasing happiness, which is intrinsically wrong and will destroy you, or they are joyful, who can be happy in all circumstances. The ones who are chasing happiness, well, they're always the ones that are going to give you that wonderful godly answer. Like, oh, it looks like your arm just got chopped off. Oh, God is so good. Everything's really wonderful right now. I'm so happy to be here. How can I pray for you? They don't know how to admit their problems and situations. They don't know how to connect with people. And of course, you want to safeguard yourself, but you also want to be a little bit real from time to time. They may not even wear the best clothes like the worldly people I was just talking about earlier, or the social media influencers, or the people at work. But they have this ability to, make things subtly about themselves. And or even if they do make things about other people, they'll slowly allow the plan to land back on them. They can mingle with just about everybody because they have those nice key words to be able to, and key phrases and comments or topics that allow for everyone to have a smooth type relationship with them. And they've usually always got a smile on their face. Sometimes it's even painted on. And for the most part, if you were to take just the totality of the little idiosyncrasies I've talked about, it sounds pretty good. They're jovial, they're smiling, they always seem nice, they have positive things to say. However, if you dig deep inside, they don't know how to mourn with people. They're fairly callous. And if they're not a Christian, which a fair amount of people in church are not Christians, they might have a mental health issue or they just haven't dealt with the problems in their life. They seem to only know how to rejoice in the situations that allow them to benefit on some level and suppress the ones that are quote unquote not good or character building. If this person doesn't seem to have any problems in their life, well, eventually that feeling and that way that they're dealing with the world will putter out, and that is not good whatsoever. Then, in their pursuit of human happiness, they will eventually crack, and you don't want to be around them when they do crack. However, there's also people who are happy most of the time, but who know how to share their hurts. I think these are people who have matured into joy. They know how to mourn with people. So this is why it's kind of tricky, because a person who is a happiness chaser will have a lot of the same momentary checks as the person who's filled with joy. And so that's why we have to have a lot of discernment. We need to take our time to get to know people before we label people. They also will dwell in a state of joy that God has given them. And this will display in proper emotions over time. So they'll have a range of emotions. They won't be just pivotally chasing happiness. Now, I don't think we should go around trying to just measure people and say, oh, you're happy, you're joyful, or your happiness is not real and your happiness is attributed to your joy, and so on and so forth. It's good to test the fruit in people's lives, but we need to really take a step back and get to know people in general before we put people in a box. Trying to see people who are happy and people who are not happy, that's not the point of what I'm sharing. The main point is that happiness is usually momentarily driven. I want you to build relationships. If you take anything away from this conversation right now, or if you've watched any of the almost 400 videos I've made, I always try to point it back to a relationship with other people and a relationship with God. And joy is infused with that thought process of your entire life being focused on that relationship that you have with Christ.